Because something that I've always been obsessed about is happiness in entrepreneurship. And it's not just about the metrics of finances. It's not just about the metrics of how many clients you have. I think those things are important. I think that without stress or stress levels going higher, I think more is typically better than less. And obviously it's like one of the main things that we help coaches with. But one thing that I'm always really conscious of when somebody comes in is what a perfect week looks like for them. Who benefits or the polar opposite based upon the results that they have in their coaching business. What makes them happy? What makes them tick? And so many coaches that you work with, some are new coaches, lots of coaches that you work with are already successful. And this is basically where I want to take this conversation. When these coaches come to you, and many of them have achieved the things that they said, I will be happy when. I'll be happy when I have 30 clients. I'll be happy when I hit, inverted commas, the 10K months. I'll be happy when this thing happens and that thing happens inside my coaching business. However, they've hit that. They might have far surpassed it, but they're feeling either unhappy or unfulfilled. What are some of the things that you see with those coaches that turn that around and make them more fulfilled or more happy when they get something right on the other side?
Yeah, it depends on from which energy they were building from. So I know for me, certainly, I built a lot of my initial success in boxing and international software sales on scarcity, on not feeling good enough, on not feeling worthy, or feeling like I had a point to prove. And there is some real beauty in that because that's often the thing that pushes you to extreme levels. It's the thing that enables you to really gather momentum and make things happen. But that's not sustainable if you want to. I prefer joy over happiness. This is the linguist inside me. The linguist inside me is that happiness is more of, it's less sustainable for me. I look at joy, and joy is a lot more sustainable. For example, you can get joy just going for your morning walk. You can experience joy. I experience joy in doing what we're doing right now. For as a fuel source, I really like joy. So we talk about joy optimization. How can we optimize for joy? But the coaches that have built mainly out of darkness, and then they achieve a level of success, and like, well, I still have the same feelings that I did kind of at the beginning of this process, or why are they still there? So for you, it was an element of panic. Well, why do I still feel? You wasn't even aware. It was only when I brought it to your consciousness that was when you went, oh, why do I still feel this panic? Actually, I've always felt this. I just thought this was normal. I just was thought the way we were. So if you're building out of that space, well, then it's getting to a place where you can kind of make peace with the past. It's making peace with who you used to be, making peace with that kid that didn't feel enough, lovable, or worthy. Newsflash, everybody's afraid of that, but we work with the ambitious mind. That's our thing. And those children chose, fuck you, I'm going to prove you wrong. And then they become the overachiever, the ambitious, I'm going to go and go and go and go and go. And that's the client that we work with. So it's helping them reconcile that and helping them realize they're enough without the stuff. They're enough without all the external things. Now, if you're building out of a place of, actually, everything's great, like everything's cool, and I'm doing this out of abundance and love and growth, well, then this is where it comes into meaning and purpose. So you've got to understand, well, why am I doing the things that I do? So for me, my ambition pushed me to the extremes of burnout, anxiety, an eating disorder, and a failed suicide attempt. Now, a lot of people think that will never happen to me, but it does. I never thought that would happen to me, but it did. And I don't want any other ambitious individual to ever have to fall through that trap. But on the opposite side of that scale, I've also been able to build a business and a career that I absolutely fucking adore. Like, it's never when you said, do you want to jump on the podcast? I was like, oh, it's like, yeah, of course I do. Boom, in. Or if I get new clients, I'm not thinking, oh, I've got more clients to service. No, I get to service more clients. Cool, boom. Oh, we've got to hire another coach. No, I get to hire another coach. Cool. So if you're operating out of abundance and you're probably struggling, why am I not feeling, again, I go back to joy versus happiness. Why am I not feeling the joy? Well, you got to look at, well, why are you trying to solve what you solve? So for me, my impossible goal is to help ambitious minds around the world achieve psychological freedom. Now, not every single person can do that. And then what does psychological freedom mean? To me, it's the ability to suffer and still do the thing anyway. It's the ability to navigate your emotions and still perform. Because it's irrelevant how you feel, you can still do the thing and perform. So that's a different ball game, because that's more looking at, okay, well, what are your inherent drivers? What are your core values? What is important to you? And sometimes we build a business, we build a level of success, and I see this all the time with high performers, is they fall, instead of playing to win like they did when they started, they start playing to not lose. And once you start playing to not lose, that's where you stop taking risks. That's where you start, I mean, this has worked for so long. Do I really want to rock the boat? Like, what if it doesn't work? Or if I was playing not to lose, I wouldn't rent a luxury cinema in Manchester and go, all right, let's see what we can do with that. I would have just said, nah, we don't need to spend all that money. What we've got, what's going is good. We're profitable. Let's keep it there. Playing to win is like, no, I'm playing to win. I want to change people's lives. I want to change the way that people interpret their reality. Thus, we need a very unique space and venue to do that. So on we go. So if you're operating out of that place where it's not so much a dark, heavy energy, and actually it's more abundance, well, then that's where we go into, well, what is the point? Why are you doing this? And when you do that, it completely, you just look at reality differently. And then we start going for joy optimization. So where do you experience joy? When I'm one-to-one on calls. Brilliant. Let's get some more of those in there. When don't you experience joy? What takes you away from joy? Admin. Okay, well, what admin are you doing? I'm doing all of this. Well, that definitely should be outsourced. You're far too expensive to be doing that. Bring in an assistant. We take that off of their plates. Then it's all right. Okay, what else? What else takes away from your joy? Because joy, you can get joy just washing your hands. I fell for it. I can't believe I did this. I spent £25 on a hand soap, Aesop. And the reason I spent it was because I was quite stressed. And then this Aesop rep come past and said, just try this soap, it might calm you down. And in this soap, it had this, I think it's called Spelt. It felt like this really fine sand grain stuff. I just started washing my hands, and I really focused on just washing my hands and just feeling the whatever it was, like the grainy sort of feeling. And then I washed my hands, I dried them off, and I just felt a little bit more calm. And I found joy in that moment of washing my hands. So then I was like, oh, go on, how much is it then? In fact, don't tell me. I just tapped the card and run off. And I got home and looked at my phone. I was like, fuck, 25 quid on hand soap. But now I have it in my office. Because if I need to take a minute to go and recharge, I now use that to go and wash my hands and experience joy. So there's lots of things that you can do to optimize for joy. And the more you can spend time in joy as an entrepreneur, and this is where you become creative, this is where you let your inner child in. Now, you don't want your inner child running your business and making decisions on your business. You will make mistakes, particularly if you've got a stroppy inner child, but you should let it in to come and play, to come and be creative, to come and see how it can solve problems. And if you can do that and you have that balance, you're going to have a much better time. So I appreciate that was quite a lot in there and it's a bit of a speech, but that's the two things that I see.
That's excellent. And see what came to mind there as well. It was actually one of the biggest takeaways. Like, I loved that point that you made about a lot of people are playing to win, and then they transition in playing not to lose. And it was only 2 days ago, it was the first game of the season again, and we're 2-0 up after 10 minutes, and then instantly the team starts to play not to lose, and we end up drawing 2-2 in the first game of the season because we started to play defensive when we're an attacking team. And that's what actually makes us good at defending, is the fact we don't have to, because the other team usually panics. So yeah, it plays out in many aspects of life. Thanks so much, Coach, for watching this short clip right here. If you enjoyed this and you want to watch the full episode, I'll throw it somewhere on this side of the screen so you can simply click and watch. And if you want to watch something that's maybe a little bit different, but if you watch this and you love this, then you're really going to like this as well, I'll throw it on that side instead. So you can click through, watch, and I'll see you on the next video.